Welcome to the third video of my garden this year. It's been a couple of weeks since the first couple of videos went out and they were filmed kind of mid-March. It's now early April. It's actually Easter Sunday. I've been busy in the garden today and the last couple of weekends. I'm just going to quickly show you around what's happening at the moment. So over here you'll notice I was saying about putting some arches in. There's a few of these popped up around the garden now. So it's just a couple of fence posts with some trellis in and then some on top. New plants that have gone in include this Akebia white creamer version. I've got the dark maroon one, but I've got this here, and then on the other side I'm planning on growing a passiflora of some variety. Quick update on the echiums. I am now pretty sure that this is dead, so these will be coming out, same as these two here. I'm going to just pull them out. I've started sorting out the barbecue area. As you can see, there's a few more bits and pieces around, and I've finally got around to putting in some bigger pots for my blueberries. A couple more here. Got the acanthus mollis starting to come through. It's interesting, these two are doing absolutely fantastically. However, this one down here, which has been treated exactly the same, it's alive, but it's, it's not looking great. There's a few bits that are mushy on it, so we'll see. I mean, there's plenty of seedlings around if I need to replace it. Starting to get the lilies popping through, and the daylilies are doing fantastically. I'm thinking this little clump of crocosmius is going to go, as is that one in the centre over the back there. That's also going to go for something. You've got the giant daylilies starting to come through. A quick update on the tetrapanax. I think I've lost some height on it. This top is not looking great, but there is shine. So here, this is not looking great, but there is a little bit of just there, just starting to show. I mean, we've lost kind of 18 inches if that's the highest growth point, but it's got some good roots in. It's been a good few years, so that'll quite easily recover from that. Update of the pond. The giant peonies are starting to come through quite nicely now. This Musa basju is not got any signs of shooting yet. It's absolutely solid. There's no signs of any more severe rot, but I think it's going to have to come from the actual rhizome underground if it's going to shoot this year. We've got another little rheum that I've bought. I've got to find somewhere for that to go. This whole pond area, I was talking to my wife earlier today, this winter I think we're going to dredge it all out and sort it out. You'll notice that the waterfall at the back has moved. That's because the top pond is slightly subsided and it actually leaks on one side, so this actually drains out quite quickly if I put it into the top pond and then over the stone. So at the moment it's just going straight into the main pond. The tree fern is also going to be moved. It does get quite a lot of sun there, and I just want to move it into somewhere a bit more shadier, and it's somewhere a bit easier to get to watering because it doesn't get watered anywhere near as enough. Coming around this side of the bridge, and you'll notice another archway. Again, a couple of posts, bits of trellis, and then I've taken back to the stump a lot of the conifers that were here. The last couple are actually dead. It's only this one that's got growth on it, and even these ones along here I will take back at some point in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. I just need to find something that's going to be quick growing to climb up over it all to give my neighbour some privacy. And the gunner has actually awoken. It's very small really, but it's doing okay. There's actually a few more leaves since I looked the other day, so I dug over this area down to about 2.5, maybe 3 foot down, pond liner, a few holes in it just so it does drain, and then refilled it. I need to get some good compost manure and stuff in it, and just cover this area with there and let it grow in. And the idea is over, probably not this year, but hopefully the next 2 to 3 years, it will literally fill this space when it does grow up every year. Then I finally found a place for this. I'll remind myself what the name of it was. It is a Coniogrami immensis. It's looking a little bit sad, a little bit slug damaged. That was all while it was in the pot over on the terrace. So I'm hoping now that it's in the ground, it might be able to get its roots out and kind of put some new growth on. The hostas are all starting to shoot now. I gave this area a tidy and sweep up, but everything's doing fine in here. Some more hostas growing there, and then this bit down here where I had a slab loose, I lifted that a few years ago and planted that in there. Then we've got some new shoots coming through. This was kind of 4 or 5 foot high last year, but the frost this year took it right back down to ground level. And fern down there not looking great. The bananas are pushing through, but again they're taking their time. It's a lovely day today, and I could probably take some more height off of that just to get it going a bit better, which I might do. We are still getting a few cold nights, and then this one is down here somewhere, but we'll get some more height on that this year, I'm sure. It's actually doing better than my other clump on the other side, which obviously hasn't even shot yet. Still looking a little bit tatty, but it is starting to recover a little bit, a few new bits of new green growth. Then we've got the giant fritillaries, all in flower now. I'm starting to keep an eye on them, checking them every couple of days at the moment for red lily beetle, because they decimate them quite quickly, and then once they make an appearance then it'll be a daily job. So I'm hoping that once that's got some climbers growing up over it, it will shade this area. The bamboos are all starting to shoot. You can see the new columns starting to poke through. And then another hosta down here. And then a quick update on the Banksian rose, which is actually now coming into bud. Let's see if we can find, yeah, some little buds just peering now, so that will be out in a mass of flowers soon, a couple of weeks maybe. So take you back around. And back over the garden bridge to the other side of the pond. You notice the choice here is still looking very, very sad. I will probably just give this a hard prune back, take the top kind of 6 to 8 inches off and let it reshoot again. I'm near enough, I'll go around the other side so you don't have the sun in it, near enough convinced 100% now that the acacia has completely gone. I have to admit, I was telling a little white lie when I said it was -10 at least, if not -15. As I say, I don't have a really loose, I don't have a weather station in the garden, but there is someone in the village, well the next village up, it's about a mile and a half as the crow flies, and then he recorded -3.5. Now I'm 100% certain we had it at least -5, because my van during the day was reading kind of -3s, so I think it might be a little bit sheltered. But yeah, the acacia did not like it. Daffs are all out in full bloom, starting to go over a little bit now. Then one of my customers didn't want any of their stocks that were in their veg beds. They'd self-seeded everywhere, so I've got some hilled in around here. I'm going to use these as some fillers this year. They're actually a really pretty dark maroon and a couple of yellows. mostly dark reds. Then over here we have another new addition, which is this. It's the ornamental cherry. It's a Tibetan cherry. So I'm hoping in a few years that will look absolutely fantastic with the cherry bark red. Now this is all looking slightly different. This kind of bed over here was just a little too thin and wasn't really giving me any planting space. I mean, this is not how it's going to be, I don't think. I'm just kind of playing with it, leaving it for a day or two and then seeing what I think. I am liking this a little bit. My idea is still to have this area as a basdew forest, just so that I've got some quick easy height in there. So this could actually be a little bit of grass that you come through, and then there's a little secret kind of like walkway to get through, and then through to where the stocks is maybe. I don't know, it's not massively wide to do something like that, and you're not going to have any height, so it might just be kind of a thick forest, and this will actually kind of just go between the two pieces here and flow down. Then the last big update for today is this big section of trellis. So this is just some more posts and trellis added on, and I've moved a few things about. The Phyllostacis are both being moved ever so slightly, only normally by about a foot or two, just to give them a bit more space between the trellis. And then I already had honeysuckle in the perfect spot, so that's now been trained to go up. You can see I've got some more giant daylilies, and then over here we've got a Cubia japonica, and then we have Clematis ormandii and a Daphne, which smells absolutely fantastic at the moment. Very pretty. So the Daphne will only get to about 3 foot. The Cubia will get to 12 foot maybe at most, maybe more like 9 to 10. Certainly high enough to get to the top of the trellis, and obviously the Clematis will completely cover this in due course, and obviously the honeysuckle on that side. And then all of this. So that's a quick update to today. I think this bit over here is going to be pulled out as well, but I've got to try and do that sneakily when the wife's not about and kind of pretend it was always like it. And then a little project that I've been doing today is I've got a couple of pallets from a builder's merchants a few days, or actually a couple of weeks ago now, and I was going to use them for some bits and pieces, but I've made this monstrosity. This is going to be a raised planter for some veggies and stuff this year, I think, so that my wife can kind of get to them nice and easily. But it's going to have some blitz planted on the outside as well, I think. And while I think of it, actually, as a note for myself, is, I don't know if you can see in here, I'll get my fingers out of the way for you, we've got the first new shoots of the Phyllostacis nigra, so that's already starting to shoot early April. So all of my bamboos are basically shooting early April now. So I will leave it at that today. I'm not sure what's going to be the next update, but it will probably be in a couple of weeks' time, and we'll see how the garden's doing.